Hi, in this video I'm gonna show you how I've set up my Anki to learn Spanish words, but I'll show it as an example for Russian words because I've already set up everything for Spanish. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is to create a new deck. And let's call it Russian :words, just in case we want to create some other Russian cards that are not words, for example, for grammar rule or for something like that. So we have created a deck Russian and the subdeck words, and now we can add cards to that. But before adding any cards or notes, how they are called, or notes, a basic concept in Anki 2 to the deck, we need to configure a note type. So to do that, we go to Manage Note Types menu and add a new note type. So we will use a note type of super type close. So it's very important to choose close here. Add close. Press OK. Let's call it Russian word. And here it is. So the first thing we need to do is to configure fields in our notes. So I'll use the list that I've prepared. So yeah, let's rename the first field with word. That will be our word. The second one will be explanation, either in English or in Russian, once we learn Russian well enough to understand explanations in Russian. And then we also want to have at least one example. So I want to put a disclaimer here that this won't work without at least one example of usage of word, but I think that's fine. So we add some more fields. I'll explain that in a minute once I finish with that. So there we go. And the last one, Voiceover 2. So we will have 9 fields, and apart from the word and its explanation, we'll have up to 2 examples, optional example translations, and voiceover for the word and both of the examples. So let's press OK. And now we can configure the card layout using the fields that we've just created. So this will be our front template. So the front template would show us the explanation field and then 2 examples if they are present with the word being encoded in this card hidden using the ellipses. And there will also be an input field where we should input the word. So on the back end, we will have, so yeah, let's check back template. So we'll have the following. So we will have the word in bold with word voiceover and explanation in cursive at the top of the card. Then we will have примеры использования, which means usage examples in Russian. And then we will have up to 2 usage examples with the word being shown as this and colored with blue and written in bold. Then we'll also have the voiceover for that and an optional translation hint. And at the bottom we will have the result of our input. So we fill in the field here, press enter, and we'll get the results, whether we were correct or we made some mistakes, and mistakes will be shown. So here in example, it's assumed that we wrote example and the right answer was an example, and it shows what mistakes were made. So we have configured this and we can press save. So now we have finished with the Russian word note type, and having a node type, we can add a few nodes. So to add nodes, we press add. So first of all, we need to choose the node type that we're adding, the node type. And we also need to choose the deck. So we'll add the nodes to Russian word. And here we can write a word. Let's start with the word dom. In English, dom means house. And as an example, we would say я иду домой, which in English means I am going home. Let's press add. We get a warning, and this is a very handy warning that says that we haven't hidden the word in example. So let's hide it using this ellipsis button. So we hide the word, and that's very important because if we had the word listed here 2 times, for example, let's say dom моя, or let's add another example. So let's say dom моя крепость. In Russian, it's a proverb. Direct translation is my house is my fortress. So if we press this again, we will see some difference between the examples. So in the first example, we have C1, and in the second example, we have C2. So if these numbers differ, so Anki will generate 2 cards for this node. So in the first card, only the word домой here will be hidden, while this word will be shown as is on the front of the card. And there will be a second card where things are the opposite. So the first word will be shown as is, and the second word will be hidden. So this is not what we want, what we really want here. So we need to fix it. So the most obvious way to fix it is to press this again and just replace this 2 with 1 so that these are similar. These are the same. And in that case, both words will be hidden. And there will be only 1 card for the node. But there is an optional, like an alternative way to do so. So we select the word and we hold Option before pressing this button. And when we press this button, as you can see, it was generated with the same C1 tag. So let me try again. Now I don't hold Option and I get C2. If I hold Option, I get C1. On Windows, I believe it's either Control or Alt. Don't remember exactly. So yeah, and we leave the voiceover fields empty. We can record voiceover here with this record audio button, but I want to use some cloud-based automatic voiceover services instead, and I'll show how to use them later. So let's leave them empty for now. Let's add some other word. Let's add the word mama. Mama in Russian means mom or mother. And as an example, let's say я люблю свою маму, which stands for I love my mother or my mom. So let's hide the word mama again, and let's just finish with one example. So here it is. We've added 2 words, two nodes into words deck, and now we can start learning them. So we start and we can see here the word house, the 2 different examples with the word house being hidden, and when we type in dom and press enter, we get the result. So dom is correct. It has green background, and we also have the word dom here in bold, the explanation or translation in English in this case. And we also have 2 examples of usage. So the first one is "Я иду домой," and as you can see, it is not ellipses anymore, but rather the word "домой." And optionally, I can show the translation here. I'm going home. So let's say that so let's just close it for now. So the thing that we want to have now is to add voiceover here, voiceover to the cards. So how to do so? So we need to open browse, and we get into the browser. So here we need to choose to open the deck. So here is the Russian words deck, and what we want to do is to add some voiceover. To do so, I'll use awesome TTS plugin. And before using the plugin, you need to install this. How to install it? So you go to the plugin webpage and simply install it. To do so, you copy the number provided here and go to Anki. Where it is? I think that I need to close the browser to get that. Yeah. So in the main menu, you can go to add-ons page and press the get add-ons button and paste the code here. So I won't do so because I've already installed the plugin, but if I press OK, the plugin will be automatically installed. Nothing else is needed to be done. So let's go back to the browser, assuming we've already installed the plugin. So I can select, using Command A or Control A on Windows, I can select all the cards here and using Awesome TTS button in the top menu, press Add Audio to select it. So I get this window where I can choose the one of the pre-configured generation methods. Those methods were configured on my own, so you will have to configure them manually. So how to configure that? You can choose from one of the many different speech engines that are listed here. I definitely strongly recommend Microsoft Azure. It seems to be the best. So for Microsoft Azure, you can choose from a huge list of voices, and you can see here are standard and neural options. So you need to choose neural. So standard don't work since September 1st of 2021, but for some reason they're still listed here. So here is my preset for Russian, for Spanish, I'm sorry, but let's choose something for Russian. Let's choose Svetlana neural. So we don't want to accelerate the playback speed or alter the pitch. And here are two fields that you need to configure individually. So these fields are being configured from using Microsoft Azure Console. So you will have to sign up at Microsoft Azure website, confirm your phone number and your bank card, and after that you can create a Microsoft Azure speech resource and generate the API key for that. And when you create that resource, you will be asked to choose the region where you want to allocate that, and you should choose that region here, the same region that you chose while creating the resource. And you'll also have an API key once the resource is created, so you'll need to put the API key here. So on the left side you can test how this particular voice works. So for example, let's say "Привет, как дела?", which in Russian means "Hi, how are you doing?" and press preview.
Привет, как дела?
So we can choose some other Russian voice let's try Victoria. Oh, I'm sorry, it's already Slovak. So let's try Dmitry. He's also neural, so he will voice it over for us.
Привет, как дела?
So you can choose whatever you like. I would opt for Svetlana.
Привет, как дела?
And now you need to choose the fields that you want to voice over. So first we'll voice over the field word, and we'll write the voiceover to word voiceover field. Don't forget to check this checkbox, and basically this one. Actually, in this particular setup, it doesn't matter whether you choose this or this, but I would definitely prefer the append option and this checkbox being checked. So we have configured everything. We can save, let's say, save. Let's call it Russian Microsoft Azure Russian, so that we don't need to fill in all these fields again when we generate voiceover the next time. And now let's press generate. So we've got a prompt that, well, everything went well, no errors happened. And now we repeat the process for the example 1 field. Example 1 voiceover. Generate. There we go. Now we can go back to the main menu, go to the deck, press study now. Let's type Dom.
Дом. Я иду домой.
As you can hear, we've got voiceover for the word and the first example, and you can replay the voiceover pressing these buttons. And we haven't got a voiceover for this because we didn't generate it. So that's a bit unfortunate, and it's quite tedious to do it manually, but that's how it works. So for now, but I'll show how to generate voiceover automatically later. So let's go back and add some more word. Let's say we want to add the word papa, which in Russian means dad. And again, let's say we love our father. Я люблю своего папу, which stands for I love my dad. And let's add the card. Oh, thank you very much. And I did it wrong. I reacted to the warning wrong, but that's not a problem. We can find the word, the card here, and we can edit it using this menu. So now the card is fixed. So what I want to do here now is to add the voiceover for the notes that I've just added. So I've already had some notes here for Dom and Mama words, and they were voiced over. Well, we had a problem with example 2 in the word Dom, but that's fine. But let's imagine that we have a lot of cards, let's say 1,000 or 2,000 words. And if we use the method that I did show some time ago, it will be terrible, because we will have to basically we'll have to regenerate audio for all those thousands of cards. And Microsoft Azure provides free developer accounts that show only that allow you to convert text to speech only for 500,000 symbols per month. So we really don't want to generate thousands of voiceovers every single time we add just 1 or 2 words to our dictionary. So how to solve this issue? So we have a search field here, and we can filter the cards, showing only those cards that don't have voiceover field filled. So let's do that. Let's start with the word. Let's voice over the word field. So we want cards that have non-empty word field, which is in this case obvious because it's impossible to create a card with empty first field, and in our node type word is the first field. But for examples it works well. So, and we want those cards to have field word voiceover empty. So to check that the field is empty, we just write the name of the field, colon, and then nothing. So if we press enter, we get only node father remaining. So let's choose it and generate audio for it. So we were working with the word field, so we generate the word. If we rerun the search, we get no results. So let's do the same with example 1. Example 1. Voiceover. So we got again the only word papa. So let's generate audio for it. Example 1 voiceover, generate, and now it disappeared. So then we want to do the same with the example 2. As you may remember, we only filled the field example 2 for the word dom, and we only get word dom here. So if we remove this clause from the search query, we'll get all the words, including my Spanish words. They have the same structure, that's why we get them here. But yeah, we only want those words that have non-empty example 2. And yeah, let's generate audio for it too. So we choose example 2 here, example 2 voiceover, press generate. It took some time, but it succeeded. So now we can ensure that there are no fields remaining here. So let's try this again. Let's press dom.
Дом. Я иду домой. Дом – моя крепость.
As you can see, now we have voiceover for all the fields. So let's say it was easy. I'm a native speaker, so it's apparently easy to me. Let's say we mix up the word here. Let's say we mixed up mama and papa and say that mom is dad.
Мама.
So
Я люблю свою маму.
as you can see, we get corrections. So we are told that almost all the letters, so half of the letters were right, half of the letters were wrong. As you can see, we still can see the translation if we need it. And even though we made a mistake, Anki allows us to say, well, it was not actually a mistake, because sometimes if you have a huge deck, then there may be very similar words with very similar meanings, and they may be interchangeable in all the examples that are provided on the front deck. And then if you mix up the word simply, but this is not a mistake in terms of the sense of the sentences, then you just say, well, it was okay, it was good, let's try it again. And well, let's continue. And yeah, let me write
Papa.
here. So I got easy. I get my last challenge.
Мама.
To check.
Я люблю
word
свою
mama.
маму.
So it was good, and we have succeeded. We have finished the deck. So what I want to discuss now is that the manual audio generation is very tedious. It's much better than recording audios on your own, especially if you don't know how to read certain words and you don't want to memorize wrong pronunciation. Then it's a good idea to use some automatic, some standard stuff. But if you only use a computer, so there is another option for you. So we can change our node type a little. So let's go back to node types menu and edit the card layout for Russian word node type. So let's go to the back template, and what we can do here is to press add TTS button, and let's choose Microsoft Azure Russian. Let's choose the Russian word, the field word. Yeah, so we need to tell it that this is a closed field, a special field that has this support for ellipses. So we need to choose this type of voiceover. So we want to speak everything on the back and only non-hidden parts on the front. And if you use mobile app along with a desktop app, then you definitely need to choose the right language here. It's really important to choose the language, because otherwise you'll get voiceover for the wrong language. Because on mobile devices there is no awesome TTS plugin. You cannot use these awesome cloud-based speech-to-text voiceovers. So you will use some stuff that is provided on your device for this language. And yeah, so that's why you don't want to leave it Arabic here for Russian language, because Arabic voice will try to read Russian letters, and I have no idea what happens, but definitely not something good. So we configured everything. We press insert into back template. Okay, and we've got this TTS tag here. So let's move it to the so yeah, basically it says that text-to-speech, TTS stands for text-to-speech, so we need to apply text-to-speech in Russian to close field word, yeah, with Russia, with awesome TTS voices. So this part will be ignored in mobile devices. So let's move it here. Let's place it here instead of the word voiceover field. So we will leave the word voiceover field unused, and let's do the same for the rest of the parts. So let's do the same for example 1. Insert. So we've got this for example 1. Let's replace example 1 voiceover with this TTS, and let's do the same with example 2. There we go. Just copy it and paste it instead of this. So now, as you can see, we have these voiceovers. So let's press save, and now let's add some extra word to Russian, some extra Russian word to Russian word stack. So what we want to do is to use word, let's say крепость. We used it already in the card referring to house. So let's use крепость, which, as you may remember, means fortress in Russian. And we can use the same example here. Мой дом. Let's modify it slightly. So we will add the word это, which is kind of counterpart of English to be in certain situations. Это моя крепость. So my house. So the translation is the same. My house is my fortress. The reason I added this word это is only to demonstrate that the audio is generated in the fly, and the previously generated audio for the same text is not reused here. It's not reused anyway by Anki. So let's press add. Once again, we get a prompt that we get a warning that we haven't used ellipsis in close field. So let's press add. There we go. Now we have one more word to learn in Russian words deck. So we press study now and let's say крепость and press enter.
Мой дом – это моя крепость.
Yeah, for some reason it didn't pronounce the word крепость. I don't know exactly what happened to here. Let me edit the card template. So yeah, you can edit the template.
Мой дом – это моя крепость.
Yeah, so
Мой дом – это моя крепость.
yeah, so let me close this. So to be honest,
Мой дом – это моя крепость.
yeah, that's terrible sound. I don't know exactly what happened with this particular tag, so let's just regenerate it and maybe it works then. So use the word. Don't forget to choose the language. Here we go. And so, oh yeah, and yeah, so the issue is that word is not a closed field, so we don't use ellipsis for word is of another type, so we need to use regular field type here. So now it should work. So we copy it back here, paste it back here, and now save. So let's go back and start again. So we get fortress, we say крепость, and we press enter.
Крепость. Мой дом – это моя крепость.
Yeah, so now we've got the word крепость pronounced too. So this is very handy, and it's much better to use this automatic voiceover if you use Anki only from your desktop and you have constant internet connection. So if you prefer to learn words on mobile devices without internet access, so if you don't have internet access, you won't get the voiceover. If you don't, so yeah, and I have to say that I have an iPad and I tried this approach on iPad, but for Spanish, the quality, the pronunciation of these text-to-speech voices is terrible. So it's just garbage. It's terrible, and I don't really recommend to use that for anybody who wants to learn right pronunciation, because it's incredibly bad. So even in very short and simple sentences, they just omit certain sounds that should be there, and it's not my ignorance in Spanish. It's rather a mistake that the voiceover makes, that the TTS makes. So I definitely recommend to spend some time and put some extra effort to generate, and generate the voiceover for fields. If you want to learn the cards not only on your computer but also on your mobile device. And also this TTS feature, I'm not sure if it works on Android. I think it doesn't, because Anki Android app is different. It is developed by by third-party developers, so they lag behind from the mainstream app on the desktop and on iOS. So they lag behind sometimes by a year, sometimes even more. And TTS is quite a new feature. It was added only in 2018, while Anki exists since 2006. So I'm not sure if this TTS on the fly really works on Android. So I definitely recommend to put some effort. But yeah, again, if you use it on computer, then this is perfect fit for you. So yeah, thanks for watching. And this is everything I wanted to say about Anki setup. I'll publish the configuration, so the templates, and the link to Azure sign up and TTS resource creation in the description. And bye.